Have you ever wondered how some men can walk into a room, say absolutely nothing, and still command the attention of every woman around them? No words, no forced charm, just a single look, and everything shifts. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's presence. It's energy. It's a silent power that radiates from within. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to cultivate it. Because in a world where men are taught to impress women with superficial gestures and empty compliments, there's a forgotten art, a secret that Stoic men have mastered for centuries: the power of a look. But not just any look, a look that holds presence, intention, and controlled intensity. A look that speaks louder than words ever could. A look that makes her feel something without knowing why. Most men try too hard. They talk too much. They seek approval. But the most powerful men, the ones women remember long after the conversation ends, are the ones who don't chase. They observe. They hold their frame. They lead with energy, not desperation. They don't impress with tricks. They impress with depth. And when you master this, something incredible happens. You stop trying to be seen, and instead, you become unforgettable. This video is not just about eye contact. It's about everything behind it: the psychology, the presence, the stillness, the energy you radiate before you even speak. This is about turning your presence into your most powerful weapon of attraction. And make no mistake, this isn't a dating trick. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, a reflection of the man you are becoming, a man who lives with intention, a man who doesn't seek attention, but naturally commands it. A man who doesn't chase validation but moves with silent confidence. That's the essence of Stoicism. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the Stoic secrets behind a look that can stop a woman in her tracks. So stay with me until the end of this video. Because once you understand and apply this, you'll never see human interaction the same way again. You'll walk into any room with quiet dominance. You'll carry your presence like armor. And you'll discover that what truly attracts women isn't what you say, but how you make them feel without saying anything at all. Before we dive deep, drop a comment below saying, "I lead with presence." Because from this moment on, you're no longer just watching, you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. And if you want more content like this, real, unapologetic, powerful truths to help you become the man you were meant to be, hit that subscribe button now. Let's begin. The first and most crucial pillar in learning how to impress a woman with just a look begins not with your eyes, but with your internal state. What most men never realize is that eye contact without presence is just a stare. It's empty. It's uncomfortable. It's forgettable. But eye contact backed by inner composure, by grounded masculinity, by stoic clarity, that's where power begins. When a stoic man walks into a room, he doesn't seek validation. He doesn't scan the crowd for attention. He's not there to be liked. He is there simply because he belongs. His sense of self-worth is not tied to anyone's opinion, and that alone makes his presence magnetic. The first secret to impressing a woman with a look is to make your look an extension of your internal stillness. Women are emotionally intuitive. They don't just see your eyes, they feel the energy behind them. If you're nervous, if you're insecure, if you're overthinking, she'll feel it immediately. But if you're still, rooted, focused, not trying to impress but simply observing, your look becomes powerful. You see, Stoic men don't react, they observe. When you observe a woman, not with hunger, not with desperation, but with calm interest, you instantly separate yourself from the majority of men. Because most men look at a woman as if they need something from her. But a high-value man looks at her as if he is simply assessing his environment, not craving approval, just noticing. That alone triggers curiosity. It makes her wonder, why isn't he affected? Why is he so composed? Why do I feel his eyes differently than everyone else's? That's because energy speaks before words. The second secret lies in posture. You can't command a room with your eyes if your body communicates weakness. Your eyes follow your spine. Your energy follows your alignment. If you slouch, if you fidget, if your body seems hesitant, your eye contact becomes diluted. But when Your shoulders are back, your chest is open, your chin is slightly elevated, not arrogantly but calmly. You send a subconscious signal of authority. Stoicism teaches you to embody stillness even in the midst of chaos. And when your body holds still, your gaze becomes amplified. A calm body enhances eye contact more than any line you could ever say. The third secret is timing. Most men don't know when to look. They either look too early, too intensely, or for too long. But the Stoic man knows the timing of a look is more important than the look itself. He doesn't rush it, he doesn't force it, he allows the moment to build. When you walk into a space and lock eyes with a woman, don't hold it too long like a predator. That shows neediness. Instead, make it subtle and intentional. Hold it just long enough for her to feel it. Then look away slowly, not abruptly. That moment of restraint is what causes her to feel intrigued. It's the tension of the glance that makes it powerful, not the duration. And when you eventually look at her again, it's not accidental anymore. It's deliberate. That creates psychological contrast. She starts anticipating your next look. The fourth secret is micro-expression. Your eyes speak, but your face completes the message. Most men overdo it. They try to smile too much, look too mysterious, or exaggerate their facial expressions. But the Stoic man knows that subtlety is strength, a controlled smirk, a faint upward movement of one eyebrow, a still face with soft intensity. These micro-expressions create intrigue. You don't need to do much, just be intentional. A well-timed smirk while looking into her eyes says more than a dozen compliments. The fifth secret is detachment from outcome. This is perhaps the most Stoic element of all. The moment you want a result from your eye contact, whether it's attention, attraction, or approval, you lose your power. Your energy becomes needy. But when you look at a woman with total emotional independence, something shifts. You don't care whether she reacts or not. You don't care if she looks back. You're not there to provoke a response. You're there to express presence. And ironically, this detachment is what makes you most magnetic. Because a woman feels safest around a man who doesn't need her to validate him. He's not trying to be impressive. He already is. He's not trying to be desired. He already lives with purpose. And that energy is irresistible. That's why Stoicism is not just philosophy. It's seduction at the highest level. Because it builds inner gravity. The sixth secret is attention to the environment. The man who masters presence also masters context. He knows how to blend his energy with the space. He reads the atmosphere. He understands the rhythm of the room. He doesn't force moments. He aligns with them. And when he makes eye contact, it's synchronized with the energy around him. It's as if his look belongs to the moment. That's why it never feels awkward. A powerful look is not a tool. It's a reflection of harmony between your presence and your surroundings. The seventh secret is mental silence. When your mind is full of noise, what do I say next? Am I standing right? Does she like me? You lose presence. But when you enter a state of internal silence, your energy sharpens. You stop performing and start radiating. Your eye contact becomes natural. It becomes less about impressing and more about expressing who you are. That's when you impress her, not by trying to, but by simply being. Because the silent man stands out in a world full of noise. The eighth secret is consistency. Power doesn't come from one perfect moment. It comes from consistency in how you show up. A look might initiate interest, but it's your energy that sustains it. If you look at her with intensity and then shrink back into insecurity, the magic is lost. But if you remain grounded through your words, your posture, your tone, she begins to associate that look with something deeper. Reliability, strength, emotional depth. That's the difference between attraction and obsession. And that is where the real power begins. The ninth secret in mastering how to impress a woman with just a look lies in what I call the energy echo. Most men assume a glance ends when you look away. But for a Stoic man, the energy continues after the look is gone. When your look leaves a trace, a subtle vibration in her mind, she keeps feeling you even when you're no longer staring at her. This happens because your gaze wasn't just visual. It was energetic. It carried weight. It had purpose. It had silence behind it. Think about the last time someone looked at you in a way that lingered in your mind. You didn't remember the physical look. You remembered the emotional impact. That's what you need to cultivate. Let your gaze carry the gravity of a man who has lived, who has suffered, who has risen, who no longer needs approval. Let it carry the weight of your discipline, your growth, your battles. That is what she will feel. That is what separates a boy's stare from a man's presence. And the 10th secret, perhaps the most powerful, is to align your look with your life. Your gaze is only as powerful as the life behind it. You can't fake a powerful look while living a powerless life. If you want your eyes to radiate masculine gravity, you must live with discipline, purpose, clarity. You must build something internally that makes your presence undeniable. The man who wakes up early, trains his body, sharpens his mind, holds his principles, lives with direction, his eyes tell a story. And women are drawn to stories, not just appearances. Your eyes are not a trick. They are a mirror of your identity. If you carry unresolved weakness, your look will betray it. But if you carry silent power, your look becomes unforgettable. This is why Stoicism is not just about emotional regulation. It's about identity formation. Every act of self-mastery you take sharpens your gaze. Every time you say no to distractions, every time you overcome your inner chaos, every time you remain calm when others panic, you are building the energy that will speak louder than words through your eyes. And that's why you don't need to say much. You don't need pickup lines, you don't need games, you need presence, controlled intensity, silent power. These are the currencies of a Stoic man. The next time you enter a room, try this. Don't speak. Don't posture. Don't try to be noticed. Just walk in with intention. Feel your breath. Ground your energy in your feet. Lift your chest slightly. Soften your gaze. And observe. Observe everything. Without attachment. Without judgment. Just presence. You'll notice something shift. People will look. Women will feel something, even if they can't describe it. They'll sense your groundedness, your quiet dominance, your internal freedom. That is the impression that changes how people respond to you. Not because you're trying, but because you are. You've become the type of man whose energy introduces him before he even opens his mouth. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's entirely within your control. But it doesn't stop there. You need to reinforce it daily. With your choices, with your habits, with your environment. Because no man can carry masculine presence if he surrounds himself with chaos. Clean your space. Refine your habits. Protect your mind. Cultivate solitude. These are the foundations of Stoic energy. That's where your gaze gains its intensity. Not from effort, but from depth. From a life lived intentionally. And the beauty of this power is that it's not dependent on looks, status, or charisma. It's built internally. Any man can possess it, but most never will because it requires discipline. It requires inner work. It requires letting go of the need to impress and embracing the power of just being. That's why Stoic attraction is the highest form of attraction. It transcends appearances. It bypasses shallow charm. It speaks to the soul. And women feel it. They may not know how to label it, but they feel it. And once they feel it, they remember it. That's why some men leave a mark with just a glance. Because the glance wasn't empty. It was the tip of an iceberg, the surface of a life forged in silence, structure, and strength. Now here's the final element that completes everything: follow through. Once you impress a woman with your look, you must back it with aligned behavior. Your gaze says, "I am grounded," but if your actions say, "I'm desperate," the spell is broken. Be consistent. If you initiate a look and she responds, don't overcompensate. Don't become overly expressive. Don't break your frame. Keep it subtle. Keep it intentional. Let the interaction breathe. Let her come into your orbit gradually. The more space you give her, the more curious she becomes. The more mystery you maintain, the more attraction builds. The man who impresses with a look and then keeps his composure is the man who becomes unforgettable. He never gives too much. He never shows all his cards. He doesn't try to win her. He lets her discover him. That's the Stoic way. understated power, silent command, unapologetic presence. And now, it's your turn. Practice this not as a performance, but as an extension of who you are. Observe your energy. Train your posture, sharpen your mind, detach from outcomes, build your discipline, live intentionally. And your eyes will begin to speak louder than anything you could ever say. That's how you impress a woman with just a look. That's how you shift the dynamic from neediness to power. That's how you become unforgettable, not because you chased, but because you radiated. And now, take this to the next level. Re-watch this video, take notes, study your habits, practice in silence, refine your energy, because once you master this, your entire life changes. Not just your attraction, but your identity. And if you've made it this far, comment below. I lead with presence, not for others, but for yourself. A declaration, a reminder, a commitment. Because this world doesn't need more talkers. It needs more men who walk in silence and radiate strength. Become that man. Walk into every space from now on with silent fire, and you'll never need to chase again. And now we arrive at the moment of truth, the final reflection, the closing fire, the summary that must sink deep into your consciousness. You've just uncovered the blueprint of one of the most underrated, misunderstood, yet wildly powerful tools a man can possess: the ability to impress a woman with just a look. Not with words, not with pickup lines, not with fake charm, but with presence, silence, stillness, and masculine gravity. And here's the hard truth. Most men will hear these principles and do absolutely nothing with them. They'll continue chasing, overcompensating, trying to be seen instead of learning how to radiate. They'll keep playing the same old game, saying too much, revealing too early, clinging to validation like it's oxygen. But you're not most men. You wouldn't be here right now reading this with focused attention, absorbing every principle, every nuance, every Stoic insight, if you weren't ready to level up your existence. Because this isn't just about attracting women, it's about awakening your masculine essence. When you master the art of silent power, of presence without noise, of strength without words, you shift your entire energy field. You become the man who doesn't need to be loud to be heard, who doesn't need to chase to be remembered, who doesn't need to beg to be desired. And that is a man women cannot ignore, and other men cannot compete with. That is a man who becomes the exception. In a world of copies, that is a man who owns his frame, not just in interactions but in life. You need to understand something deeper now. This is not just a skill. It's a philosophy, it's a way of being. You don't practice Stoic attraction once and expect results. You embody it daily. You rehearse stillness until it becomes natural. You carry calmness into chaos. You observe before reacting. You breathe before speaking. You stand tall even when your world shakes. This is the kind of manhood that never fades, because it's not built on trends. It's built on timeless truth. If you want to live as this man, you must now apply everything you've learned, not just in moments of flirting, but in every moment of life. Because your energy is your brand, your presence is your legacy, your stillness is your weapon. From the moment you wake up, to the way you carry yourself in the gym, to the way you interact with the world, your energy speaks before your voice ever does. So start there. Start by becoming intentional. Walk slower. Speak less. Observe more. Breathe deeper. Train harder. Move with purpose. Lead without noise. And when you do lock eyes with a woman, she won't just see a man. She'll feel a presence that's rare, refined, and unforgettable. That's how you win. Not with tactics, but with timeless traits. Not with gimmicks, but with groundedness. Not by becoming someone else, but by becoming more of who you were meant to be. Let this be your new standard. Not just in dating, but in everything. Stop performing. Start embodying. Stop chasing. Start radiating. Let your masculinity be felt before it's seen. Let your gaze speak before your voice. Let your energy enter a room before your footsteps do. And when you live like that, something incredible happens. Life starts to respond differently. Women notice you without you trying. Opportunities flow toward you. People respect you without needing to understand why. You become the axis around which the room turns. Not because you demand it, but because you are aligned with something most men will never understand. The power of a grounded spirit, a calm mind, and a heart that needs nothing. That's the essence of the Stoic man. He moves differently. He breathes differently. He sees the world with clarity and acts with intention. He doesn't react. He responds. He doesn't impress. He expresses. He doesn't compete. He creates. And this is what you've just unlocked. The most ancient, masculine, irresistible force there is. Presence backed by silence, strength backed by stillness. If you want women to crave your attention, if you want to walk through life not as a man begging to be noticed, but as a man who must be acknowledged, then this is your path. Build yourself in silence, sharpen your mind, discipline your body, guard your spirit. Cultivate stillness like a king polishes his sword, not for show, but because he knows one day it will be needed. That's the Stoic edge. That's the energy that turns a glance into a memory she can't erase. That's how you build mystery, attraction, tension, dominance without saying a single word. And before we close this journey, I want you to remember one final truth. Women are not attracted to your look. They're attracted to what your look communicates. What your gaze says about your discipline, your energy, your control, what it reveals about your inner world, your masculine depth, your soul's foundation. So stop asking what to say. Start asking who you are when you're silent. Stop obsessing over what line to use. Start mastering how you carry yourself. Because when your look speaks purpose, depth, calm, power, there is no resistance. She may not understand it. She may not explain it. But she will feel it. She will remember it. And you, my brother, will never again need to chase. You'll never again need to prove. You'll never again need to perform. Because you'll have become the man every woman feels, but no one can replicate. And if that's the man you want to be, then this is your moment to rise. No more talking. No more watching others lead. It's time for action. Step into your purpose. Practice this philosophy. Live it. Breathe it. Become it. And the results will echo louder than any compliment ever could. If this message resonated deeply with you and you're ready to claim this level of power, comment below "I lead with presence." Not just as a phrase, but as a declaration of who you are now becoming. And if you want more unfiltered, high-impact content to help you dominate every area of your life as a Stoic man, hit that subscribe button now. Because this isn't a trend, it's a movement, a brotherhood, a rising of men who refuse to be average, who refuse to be ignored, who refuse to seek approval ever again. You are now one of them. Carry yourself as such. Lead with presence. Move in silence. Command respect. And never let anyone forget, your gaze alone tells your story. Use it wisely. Stand tall. And remember, it only takes one look from the right man to change everything.